Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Amy. I'm a manifestation and relationship mentor, and this channel's all about merging spirituality and psychology so that you can manifest your relationship faster. And this week I'm going to do a short video series on Neville Goddard's work. And the reason why I want to do this is because Neville Goddard is such a good introduction into manifesting, and it's somebody who I've studied avidly over the years, and I feel like I've got quite a good grasp on what Neville's teachings were, and I just want to share that information with you. And of course, this is from my own perspective. If you resonate with that, great, but there are plenty of teachers out there teaching this stuff, so it's so important that you find something that lands with you. So this first video is going to be about really what Neville's teachings are as a whole. And if you are new to Neville's teaching, I would definitely recommend reading this book. This has got all of the books that are really important and really helped me personally on my journey. So I would definitely recommend reading that book. But the premise of Neville's teachings are that we are God, and because we are God, we can create like God. And this was really a turning point for me, because before I'd thought, well, I'm just a tiny human, I've got no power, no control, and things just happen to me, and I was completely stuck in victim mentality. And I'm sure a lot of you will resonate with that, because when you first start learning these teachings, it can be really overwhelming. It's such a shift in what you've been conditioned to believe. So if it is that you're struggling to really get your mind around this, I'm with you. It really did take me quite a long time to actually really embody the teachings. So what Neville is teaching is that there is one God, and anything that's happened in your life, good or bad, is a result of what your subconscious beliefs are. So if you only take one thing from this, it's what you believe manifests. And if you can believe that one thing, you are going to have a really smooth journey on this. But the problem is, as humans, because we are conditioned to believe that things are happening to us, it's really hard to then embody and really integrate these teachings, because ego will go down a rabbit hole. Well, why did this bad thing happen to me? I caused this. And it isn't to victim blame. I don't want anyone sitting there thinking that this awful thing that happened to me is my fault. It isn't your fault. It's not. But you do have the power to heal from that thing and become a much more powerful version of yourself following that. So Neville's teachings are that your subconscious mind is God, that Jesus lives in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is a powerhouse that you can literally imagine what you want or choose what you want, and that will come to pass. Now, having experimented with this over the years, that is a very diluted representation of what's really going on, but I will go further into that further in the series. But that is what Neville's teachings are, that you choose what you want, you can imagine it into being. If you can see it, you can have it, which is true. But what I find from Neville's teachings is it doesn't really go into what to do in the in-between. It kind of encourages you to ignore or deny how you're really feeling and just imagine over it. Keep imagining and it will happen. And I've had some really good successes with Neville's teachings. I manifested my ex back countless times. Couldn't keep him at the time, but I've manifested messages, I've manifested money, I've manifested lots of things from Neville's teachings. And if you are new to this, I would really encourage you to really try and build your confidence with this, with smaller things. So one of Neville's teachings is the ladder experiment. So you imagine that you're climbing a ladder, but you say throughout the day that you will not climb a ladder, and see what happens. Do you actually climb the ladder? And the aim of this is to show you that your subconscious mind, your imagination, is so much more powerful than what you think. And when you climb the ladder, even though you're telling yourself that you're not going to, it's showing you that the power of imagination is bigger and much more powerful than what it is that you're saying. So try it with things like cups of coffee, parking spaces, things like that, to really build your confidence. Because when you first come into these teachings, it's so hard to believe. It's really hard to grasp. And you will need evidence to satisfy yourself that this is actually the way things are. Another thing that you can do is reverse engineer things that have happened in the past. And I found this a really good technique to use. So I would use, for example, me manifesting my house unconsciously. I didn't know that that was what I was doing, but I did manifest this house. I would go to sleep at night thinking about it, and when I viewed the house, I knew it was mine. So I could really reverse engineer how I had done it. And also with my divorce as well, I could reverse engineer that. I could see exactly why that happened, even though at the time I couldn't really conceive why that had happened. And some of the painful things in my past as well, I really struggled really accepting that my subconscious mind was the cause of it, but it was. My subconscious mind made it so that I would walk into situations where my beliefs had to be shown to me. They just had to be. It can't be any other way. And when you can really get into this, and when you can really, even with the bad things, without blaming yourself, obviously, go into, okay, I can see how I attracted that situation. I could see why I walked into that situation, even though you didn't have the desired outcome. So in this series, I'm going to go through all of the popular Neville beliefs and my take on it, and how I personally have used that in the past to manifest things that I really want. Make it about fun stuff, because you want to stay motivated. With small things, they are going to be easier to manifest because you haven't got trauma around them. So manifest a parking space, manifest some clothes, manifest a bit of money. Do it with things that are fun. And it's also important to note that Neville's teachings are only taught from Neville's own ego as well. So it's important that you take the things that resonate with you. You don't have to take all of it. You don't have to do it blow by blow exactly how he says. And I'll go through this more in the series about why you don't need to be perfect at this. You really don't. I certainly wasn't. So if you can, get the book. I would definitely recommend reading it firsthand so that you can actually see what's going on. And the reason why I say that is because I looked online, I looked at all the videos, and I was doing the techniques, but not really knowing why. And because of that, I found it really difficult. But it wasn't until I actually read the book for myself that it landed. And I thought, this is how things are. And I stopped making the desire the priority. I was making me believing that I had the desire the priority, and it sort of clicked a bit better when I was reading the books. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really looking forward to this series, but if you've got any questions, as always, pop them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.